Hey loves, I have a video that I want you all to watch, but before I play it, let me just say this.
Hi ladies, go back and watch that video. This was sent to me by one of my mutuals. I think it goes to kind of the psychology of passport bros, and I think it deserves a much bigger, longer discussion, but I'm kind of give my 2 cents in here on how this occurs. At the end, I'm going to tell you why it's only a recent thing in our community. So let's talk first about there is no entitlement. No woman is entitled to be with a man, no matter what he thinks of himself, no matter what he thinks she should be doing. I mean, no man is entitled to a woman, a girlfriend, nothing. All right, he has to earn that. All right, this young man that's in the video, you can tell he's angry. He's been through, it sounds like a lot of rejection. And I went back and I watched the second interview that Themis did with him. Love Themis, love everything he does. So I got a little bit more insight because I was not quite understanding all of the bits and pieces and parts of what he was talking about. One of the things he said is that women are too picky. And someone had mentioned to him, that being physically fit would help him. And he believes that, nice guys finish last and he's boring, right? I think part of the problem is that guys like him don't understand that there's kind of a balance, all right? The positive masculine traits that attract women to men and the negative traits that turn women off, okay? You've got to at least balance these, or hopefully get the ones that women like to be more and the ones they don't like to be less, okay? And these guys have not figured out that balance. Therapy will not help you with that balance. The only thing that really helps with that balance is getting to know women in a non-sexual way, all right? Because in order to get to the sexual, you got to be appealing to women in a non-sexual way, okay? So let's talk about, some of the masculine traits. And I'll use the ones that I go by just as an example, just because I know myself better than anybody else. So I talk often about how I like big guys. Guys over 6 feet, muscular guys, body full of muscles. I like all that stuff. I don't like swagger. Swagger just turns me off. There's no point to it. It reminds me of a peacock. And who needs a peacock? It doesn't really do anything but walk around, look good. I don't like swagger. Love confidence, love men who are of service. Acts of service is one of my love languages. And I like smart guys. But for me, smart has to be balanced out by, can you leverage the knowledge in order to have a good income? If you're just a smart, poor guy, yeah, that doesn't work for me. How did a person who likes big guys end up dating men who are shorter than me? Because those men, although, being shorter or shorter than me is a deficit, what they were able to do is they were able to add in some things that I liked. Like one was particularly funny. Guy I knew in college, he was on the shorter side, incredibly funny, and looked like he could fight a bear. Really muscular. That just worked for me. That was a good combination. The fact that he was funny and really muscular meant that, that just worked. The second guy that I dated was shorter. He was really amazing at acts of service. I mean, there was nothing that I could ask him that he would not take care of for me as an act of service. And he was like an Irish bulldog. Anybody got too close, he was snarling. I'm like, okay, that works too. All right. So it's not as solid a list as most people think, at least not for me. It was liquid because, men can make up for things that they maybe lacked. Okay. And if you are a guy and you're trying to appeal to women, you need to ask women what it is that they like. And what these men tend to do is they listen to other men. Men don't know what women like. They know what they tell you or maybe their experience. But if you really want to know what women like, sit down and have a non-sexual discussion with a group of women on a regular basis. Now, get 5, 6 women together, sit them down and just listen to them, talk to them. Hell, take them out to lunch. Baby, you'll get so much information. You'll be taking notes all through the lunch, all right? But men don't do that. They don't listen to women. I did a video early on about that men they don't listen to women. And that's where these men are lacking. So you have these guys who really do not have enough of the masculine traits to attract women, to really bring it home, to be able to meet somebody. Their problem traits, are way just too high. All right. And I'm going to tell you why this has only recently become a problem. Community would solve this problem. And I'll tell you about my community, okay? I grew up around all black people in a community that was filled with houses. So there were a couple apartment buildings, but I didn't know nothing about them people. They didn't have no kids. So I don't know who they were. But the people who lived in houses all had children. And they all had big families. And when you have big families, what happens is families interact. So I have 4 younger siblings. And let's suppose my friend comes over and she's chatting with me, and she's got a younger brother that goes to school with my younger brother. Or maybe she's got another younger brother that goes with another younger brother, okay? So our families intertwine throughout the school system, okay? We also may go to church together. We intertwine again. Social events. We live near a big church. They always had big social events. We're intertwining. So you come to my house one afternoon and you're a boy and you want my brother to come out and play. And my mom says, no, he can't come out. He's doing yard work. Come here. And she would take you in the backyard, hand you a rake, and you're going to stand out there. You and the other 2 guys that came with you to come pick up my brother, and all 5 of y'all are out there raking leaves because y'all can't go without them, or y'all won't go without them. And my mother got you, and she ain't letting you go to all the leaves. So I would look out my backyard, and there'd be 5 boys in my backyard raking leaves. 2 of them are my brothers, and 3 of them are neighborhood boys. All right, they were at our house all the time. Same thing. I would go visit my friend, and her mother would say, "Here, sit down." And she would hand me a sack of potatoes, and I'd be sitting there peeling potatoes just like it was my kitchen. And, her brothers would go through, her sons, her nephews. And because I was there, I came to see my friend, and her mother put us to work. So we would be at each other's houses, being socialized to each other all the time because of the size of the family. And, she was my best friend. She lived 4 houses down. I was down there all the time. She'd come to my house, same difference. My mom would sit her down and here, chop up some potatoes, or come out in the backyard with us. We're gonna pick some weeds. Okay, so that's just kind of how it worked. So suppose you got that one brother, and baby, he's just awkward. He big, his feet is big, he stumble, he don't speak too good. He kind of has a lisp, or maybe he has a stutter, and he's shy, so he don't like to look you in the eye. But he over at your house because his mother sent him over to borrow a cup of sugar, or to pick up the brother that's in the basement playing a game, or out in the yard, or whatever. So he's always, you see him all the time. They're constantly interacting in the neighborhood. One day this young man shows up and wants to ask one of the sisters out. His head's bowed, he's shuffling, he's stuttering, he can't look her in the eye. Okay, we go to the movie with me? The sister's going to say yes. And you might think she won't, but she knows him. He's a nice guy. He hangs out at her house all the time. He in the backyard raking leaves. When they got to wash the car, they over there washing the car. She knows his younger sister because they go to school together. So she sees him all the time. All right. He's a part of the community. Why wouldn't she go out with him? Because of the influence of parents was so strong, it was rare that you got a bad kid. It was rare. And when I say a bad kid, one that was going to really hurt anybody. It was really, really rare because parents were just part of the community. And even the people who didn't have kids were part of the community. They were in there. Hey, what you doing? Throwing rocks at the garage? We don't like that. Cut that out. I know your name. And so guys who were socially awkward would get married and have children. Socialization takes care of this issue. But these gentlemen who are out here now, they're not socialized because, number one, they don't ask women. They're not around women in a non-sexual way, so they can learn how to be socialized. And their anger and bitterness is keeping them from being able to interact with women in any kind of a reasonable way. You cannot demand that women date you. They go overseas because they do have money enough to get women to at least go out with them. And they don't have to fix their socialization problems. Therapy probably won't help because therapy will get you balanced, but it won't get you attractive. Okay? That takes socialization, or at least knowing what it is that you need to do. You need to cut your hair, brush your teeth, get some money.